My name is John Hughes Legend. I run H&M Studios here in Karen Village, and it's a beautiful space and the picturesque Karen. Actually, is it Karen or Bulbul? I'm not quite sure. I think it's at the border. And this creative space here, it's a beautiful space where a lot of creatives congregate and create magic, whether it's writers, poets, filmmakers, musicians, metal workers, glass workers, you name it, it's here. And why Karen Village? Because Anthony, the originator of the place, had a vision. He wanted to create a place where creatives can congregate and share ideas and create beautiful art. And that's what's happening here. Here at the studio, H&M Studios, we basically are in the video production, podcast production, audio and video in the podcast realm. And as well, we're branching out to do more docu-style productions. At H&M Studios, we're basically delving into the realm of video podcasting and audio, naturally. And we are basically branching out into docu-series, TV series, and different projects. And there's a main project that's actually on the back burner right now, but we're trying to revive it for possibly 2022, which might be a little tricky because of the election year and stuff like that. This is a big project in the pipeline, which we had to put up on the back burner because of the whole pandemic and so on. So we're looking to possibly pick things back up after, post-election. And from that point on, we'll still be here thriving in the beautiful Karen Village at H&M Studios. And we're looking forward to, to make some waves out here, create some beautiful productions and engaging content, whether it's in the video realm or the podcast realm. So this is what we aim to do. My inspiration, I believe it started way back. As far back as I can remember. And it stems from a wanting to tell beautiful stories, to tell stories about us, our journey, whether it's on the continent or in the diaspora. I want to tell those native African stories that actually touch us, and stories that allow the young ones to see themselves, to see representation, because oftentimes these stories are told through other people's lenses. And until we ourselves hold the pen and tell our own stories, our stories will be told for us by other people. So my inspiration is, in fact, just to contribute to the narrative and take the pen away from those who don't deserve the pen to tell our stories, our native melanated stories. I don't say black stories, but they're melanated stories. Here's the thing, right? We don't actually need to measure ourselves against anybody else, but for the sake of fairness and balance, I think we can. We actually are in a position to compete with the best of the best, and not only technically, right? We're in terms of scenery, in terms of lush landscapes, mountaintops to the beach, the coastal area, to Mount Kenya, to Mount Ololokwe, to the vastness of the sand dunes, right? There's so many untapped, unexplored scenery that's here, okay? That's on the landscape. But in terms of sheer talent, I think we can compete with the best of the world. We can, in fact, if I dare say it myself, we can outshine them because the creativity is there. And as you know, in terms of, I'm going to go on a limb now and say swag culture is melanin culture. All right, any swag in the world comes from the melanin drip, baby. I mean, look at hip hop. Where did it come from? Now, hip hop is all over the world. And even I just watched a dope video, right? And shot with my man manning the boom pole, right? He's a writer, he writes music, and what I heard is kind of reminiscent of De La Soul, you know what I mean, Tribe Called Quest, you know what I mean, Diggable Planets. It's that type of a vibe. It's got that kind of like swag, that New York swag, you know what I mean, that hip hop swag, and go as far back as rock and roll. I mean, that's melanin swag. Go to hip hop, go to jazz, go to pop music. It's all melanin swag. So once we put our heads together and decide, listen, we taking over, and you see a glimmer of that already, because what's happening now with bongo music, Diamond Platinums, the Wasafi, those boys, right? They're doing bad stuff. I was gonna curse, but that's not that kind of show here. So you can see that happening already. A few years ago, first time I was here, all you heard was Davido, boom boom. If I tell you that I love you, boom boom. We don't want to strike, so no copyrights. I'm just singing along, all right? That's already there. Okay, you see a glimmer of that. The musicians, the artists, the filmmakers, the set designers, the fashion designers, you name it, it's all there. We just now need to consolidate and say, you know what? We're not relying on the outside world to get validation. We're going to validate ourselves, and they're going to come to us. Now, they're going to consume, instead of us talking about, well, Leonardo DiCaprio did this or Brad Pitt did that. No, we're going to talk about, I don't have any African names in head, but Kojo did this, you know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about Mwaura did this. My name is Mwaura, by the way. That's my Kikuyu name, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So we can compete. We just have to come to the realization that, hey, listen, Africa is 1.2 billion strong. You see what I'm saying? If that market comes together, ain't no stopping. By 2030, Africa will be 1.3, 1.5 billion. By 2050, 2 billion people. So a huge market. And the AFCFTA just came into action last month. The African Free Trade Continental Agreement, right? You know what that means? That means all the borders that were put together by the colonizers, those borders are going to be gone. Okay, now you're going to be able to trade on a continental level. You set up a company here, you'll be able to trade in Ghana or in Burkina Faso or in Liberia. You see what I mean? Your business license will be valid all over the continent, just like the European Union, just like the United States of America. You see? Because they know what's up. So we need to also realize that this is what we need to do. So I know I went a little political right there, but in the grand scheme of things, this is what will now solidify our footing. This is what's going to put us together and say, you know what? Yeah, we're the ish.